We are live, baby. We are live. Live in the direct, live in the direct, live in the direct, live in the direct. It's your boy, always real, never fake. Alex Rawtalk is in the building. Okay, guys, now I'm gonna set up the mic. I forgot to set up the mic. And there we go. We're on the mic. Live and direct, baby. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? So basically, I told you guys last night that I was gonna give you an update when T-Mobile when I got in contact with T-Mobile Business, they were going to fix it, and they did. And that's why I like I said, I stay loyal to T-Mobile Business. I explained to the rep the situation. That remember you guys, what's up, Tim? You guys remember when I was live streaming that the girl that offered me the T-Mobile home internet, she said it was going to be free for the first month, because that's what I qualified for in particular, and that I was gonna get the $300 gift card. So today he baked the rep that I talked to a higher department, because they got to get clearance from a higher department that said, yeah, give them the credit. Give them the credit, the whole $73 credit. So they gave me the $73 credit. My bill went back down to what it was supposed to be, 176. It was 176 because I didn't know that upgrade. I'm not gonna say nothing disrespectful, but I'm just gonna say I feel like Upgrade should have sent me a letter telling me that my account was closed due to dormant situation because I wasn't using my Upgrade account. So that's what has been making my bill fluctuate since December till January. It's the fact that I wasn't getting the extra $10 discount from auto pay on business, because in reality my bill's supposed to be 166.46 and it was 176.46 because of the $10 of auto pay discount that I'm not getting because of Upgrade. So anyway, he was nice. He told me, I wish they would have told me back in December, look, this is why your bill's fluctuating. It's $10 higher, is because your auto pay has been discontinued because the bank card you have on file for auto pay is not working. So anyway, but that's not T-Mobile's fault. That's Upgrade's fault. So anyway, I talked to him. I forgot to sign up for the gift card. Good thing I had till the 29th. Today's the 26th. He was nice. He was like, I'll help you set it up, because I told him I'm dyslexic. It's hard for me to do certain things. So he said, no problems. Turn on your computer or do it on your mobile phone. I said, okay, let me go downstairs and turn on the computer. So I turned on the computer. He told me what information to put down. I put the information. It said in 8 weeks. So basically, it's going to take 2 months for me to get that 60, that $300 gift card. But the good thing is that he honored the promise that they made me, saying that because of my good payment history and how long I've been with T-Mobile Business, about to be 5 years, and I've been a loyal customer to T-Mobile Business. And basically, let's be honest, the money I spent, I bought the 13 Pro, the 14 Pro, the 15 Pro Max, and now the 17 Pro. Plus, I bought multiple speakers on my business account. I bought the JBL Flip 6. I bought the JBL Charge 6. I bought the what's it called? The JBL Buds. I bought the AirPods. I spent mad money with T-Mobile. So T-Mobile, takes care of people that spend a lot of money with them. Let's be honest. What's up, Joseph? So anyway, he did everything, and he said that going forward, my internet with auto pay, when I turn on the auto pay, of course, but what basically we didn't mention auto pay. I just said auto pay for the $10 discount for my account. He said the T-Mobile 5G home internet was going to be honored at $40 a month for my account specifically. So he said it's up to you if you want to send the box back and cancel the service, but all we're gonna charge you is $40 a month for the $70 plan. Because he said you got multiple discounts, like the last rep told you. Since you've been a loyal business customer, you always pay your bill on time. The last time you were late was in 2024 when you had COVID twice, which we understand that, but the whole 2025 you were perfect with your payments, and that's what we love to see. So right here, the higher ups told me, my higher ups, the ones that control the T-Mobile financing, basically, is the department, and they said yes. Alex, Mr. Febres, he does talk. I guess they know about me talking good about them on YouTube and all that. So they told him yes, all these discounts are valid. So he would have paid $30. So instead of me paying 50, like I said, if I decide to keep the T-Mobile home internet, I would pay $40 a month for it. So it's kind of like intriguing, it's kind of like making me want to keep it, but my bill would be 200 and some change because of the taxes. So he said I would pay around 41.36, for the including with the taxes for the internet. So that's not bad. That's a hell of a deal, guys. So I'm like debating, because my brother is helping me now. He had cancer, he beat it, so right now he can't work. He's really weak, after getting all that chemo and stuff. Um, so the cancer is gone, basically. Thanks God. And he's giving me half towards the Verizon files. So now I'm not paying the whole 280 no more by myself. He's giving me 140 and I'm putting 140. So that leaves me an extra $140, that I don't have to spend on the cable by myself no more. So I was thinking about doing it because it does help my brother out because the Verizon files routers all the way upstairs and the T-Mobile router is in the living room, so it reaches through the basement with no issues. I had him watching Netflix on his TV Tubi with the T-Mobile home internet. And the T-Mobile home internet, guys, it is reliable. Now that I got the router working at its greatest, the NC Go 5G router, the T-Mobile home internet's working like a champ. I can't complain. I'm being honest. I can't complain. Even through this big snowstorm you guys seen yesterday, I'm pulling 500 down, 100 and something up during the day. I'm pushing 250, getting like 60 up. So it's been nothing but a great experience, with the T-Mobile home internet. So if you're really, I can honestly say after 30 days of having it, because I received it on the 26th, but I didn't activate it till, hold on, when was it I received it? The 27th, yeah, the 27th or the 29th. So almost a month anyway. After almost a month, a couple of days off from a month of having the T-Mobile home internet, can I recommend it? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you're tired of shitty service with any one of these cable providers that are not giving you what you want, definitely T-Mobile home internet is a viable option. Now, what you do have to remember is that you have on postpaid, you have a 1.2 terabyte threshold. That after that threshold, they may reduce your speeds. Not reduce your speeds to the point where it's 2G, of course not. We're talking about home internet now. You know, but you'll go from getting like what I get, like maybe 700 and 800 down to maybe like 200 down or 300 down. You might get reduced to those type of speeds to like 300 over 50, 300 over 60, somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? So you have to remember that. But it is a viable option. Like I always said, if you got your little apartment or your house, um, you know, they're recommending extenders for the internet, but the NC Go, like I said, you guys seen it on this morning's live stream that I did at 12, that I ended almost at 3 o'clock in the morning. I was on here for like an hour and a half or something this morning. You guys seen this morning that I was getting 500 down in my room and the routers in the living room. So I don't need to get extenders. And the ones that they recommend getting the extenders are on the new little white box that looks like a little satellite dish. You know, that's the one that they recommend getting extenders on. But the NC Go is definitely a great box. Sadly, it's only available for business customers, so you got to have a T-Mobile business account to get the service. But it's definitely a great viable option, guys. It is definitely something out of this world. And that's what I'm talking about. When I have issues, T-Mobile fixes the issues. And it's not just because I'm a YouTuber, because let's be honest, T-Mobile could care less if I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a threat. I don't have millions of subscribers. When they do things for me, they do them because I'm a faithful customer. I speak my honest opinion about T-Mobile on these live streams. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm kind of biased towards them, but you guys know I keep it 100. When they do something I don't like, I talk about it. I don't stay here and stay quiet and say, "Oh no, I'm not going to talk about this situation." You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And plus, after the 21st, there's going to be so on my February bill, there's going to be a 50 cents increase because you guys know that after the 21st of January 2026, there was going to be a 50 cent increase in the bill. So it's only 50 cents. Uh, to me, 50 cents is better than $1 or $2 or $3, to be completely honest. And I completely understand, man. It's not to stick up for big telco, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? Um, cable companies do the same thing. They're not going to eat up the cost of the channel increases. They're going to pass that charge on to us. So basically, the government, because the government is the one charging T-Mobile that 50 cent. Well, that government charge, uh, T-Mobile's passing it on to us. Basically, they're saying, you know what, the customers gotta take this charge. So, I mean, it is what it is, guys. We can't really do anything about the charge. You know? Uh, it's something issued by the government. So Uncle Sam, it's not just IRS. Uncle Sam is the government in general. Uncle Sam wants that extra 50 cent. And think about how many, T-Mobile has what? I forgot how many customers. Now they got more than Verizon. I think they got like 200 and something million or something. It was a big number. Uh, uh let's just ask Gemini real quick because Siri's not gonna know. Siri's gonna be like, "Do you want me to search it on the web?" I can't wait till Siri's powered by Google, by Gemini, which is crazy to say that, but it's true. It's gonna be powered by it in the next update. Gemini, how many customers does T-Mobile have? What the hell happened? Gemini, how many customers does T-Mobile have? Something went wrong. Report your this pop. Try again. What the hell? How many T? I don't know what's wrong with Gemini right now. It's acting up. How many customers does T-Mobile have? Yeah, something. It says request your list top. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna do it this way. How many customers does T-Mobile have?
As of the most recent official data from late 2025, T-Mobile has reached a record high of 139.9 million total customer connections. This milestone follows an exceptionally strong year of growth, fueled by the acquisition of U.S. cellular assets and the continued expansion of their 5G broadband services. Customer breakdown. T-Mobile's growth in 2025 was driven by three primary categories. Postpaid customers. This remains their largest segment with over 100 million connections. They added a staggering 1 million postpaid phone lines in Q3 2025 alone. High-speed internet, broadband. Their 5G fixed wireless service has exploded, reaching 8 million customers. Prepaid. This includes brands like Metro by T-Mobile and Mint Mobile, contributing significantly to the total count. The competition. T-Mobile currently holds the spot as the second largest wireless carrier in the United States. They are rapidly closing the gap with Verizon, which sits at approximately 146 million customers, and have firmly widened their lead over AT&T in terms of total subscriber growth. Why the sudden jump? The 2025 surge, moving from roughly 120 million to nearly 140 million, was largely due to two things. One, the US cellular acquisition. This added over 4 million customers to their books in mid 2025. Two, fiber expansion. Their joint ventures with Lumos and Metronet have started adding tens of thousands of fiber to the home customers to their ecosystem. Would you like me to break down how their 5G coverage compares to Verizon and AT&T now that they've integrated these new assets?
Yes. Yo, I love Gemini. I'm telling you. Yes.
In early 2026, the best network depends entirely on whether you value raw geographic reach or 5G speed and availability. While T-Mobile remains the 5G leader, Verizon and AT&T have made significant strides in closing the performance gap. Here is how the big three compare as of January 2026. 1. 5G performance and availability. T-Mobile continues to dominate most speed-related metrics, though recent 2026 reports show the competition is getting closer. Speed. T-Mobile maintains the highest median download speeds, approx. 374 megabits per second, significantly outpacing Verizon, 226 megabits per second, and AT&T, 193 megabits per second. Availability. T-Mobile users connect to a 5G signal more often than customers on any other network, covering over 332 million people. Advanced features. T-Mobile is currently the only carrier with a near universal standalone 5G SA network, which allows for lower latency and features like network slicing. 2. Overall reliability and quality. Surprisingly, recent studies from Root Metrics, January 2026, have crowned Verizon as the overall performance champion for the second half of 2025. Reliability. Verizon holds a slight edge in network reliability and consistency, particularly in rural and indoor environments. Customer perception. For the
Stop looking at the phone. Jesus.
first time, T-Mobile recently won the J.D. Power Award for network quality in 5 of 6 U.S. regions, showing that consumers are finally starting to trust their network as much as Verizon's. 3. Coverage comparison. The landmass gap. The acquisition of U.S. cellular assets in 2025 was a game changer for T-Mobile's rural footprint, but the geographic leaderboard still looks like this. Carrier. 5G landmass coverage. 4G LTE population coverage. T-Mobile. 36%. Leader. 99%. AT&T. 29%. 99.6%. Leader. Verizon. 9%. 99.5%. Greater than note. Verizon focuses its 5G on high-density ultra-wideband areas, rather than broad landmass coverage. The verdict for 2026. Choose T-Mobile if you live in a city or suburb and want the absolute fastest data speeds for gaming, streaming, and 5G home internet. Choose Verizon if you travel to remote/rural areas frequently or prioritize call reliability, and it just works consistency. Choose AT&T if you want a middle ground that offers better rural coverage than T-Mobile, but faster speeds in many areas than Verizon. Would you like me to check the 5G coverage map for your specific zip code to see which carrier has the strongest signal near you?
Yes. I just want to see what she's gonna say, guys. I love using Gemini. Yes.
To give you the most accurate comparison for your specific location, you can use these interactive zip code tools. Since coverage varies house to house, these third-party sources often give a more honest view than the carrier's own marketing maps. Best zip code search tools, 2026. Link to coveragemap.com. This is currently the gold standard for crowdsourced data. You can enter your zip code and see heat maps of verified signal strength for T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T side by side. FCC National Broadband Map. This is the official government database. It allows you to put in your exact street address to see which carriers legally claim to serve your home with 5G. NPerf Interactive Map. Excellent for seeing real-world speeds. It shows where users in your zip code have actually performed speed tests recently and what technology, 5G versus 4G, they were using. What to look for in your results. When you look at your zip code, check for these specific flavors of 5G as they determine your actual experience. Feature. T-Mobile. Verizon. AT&T. High-speed label. 5G UC. Ultra capacity. 5G UW. Ultra wideband. 5G plus. What it means. Blazing fast. 300 megabytes plus. If you see this in your zip, you're golden. Very fast but shorter range. Great in cities. Spotty in suburbs. Fast mid-band. Reliable but often slower than T-Mobile's UC. Basic 5G. 5G extended range. 5G nationwide. 5G. What it means. Broad coverage, but speeds may feel like 4G LTE. Reliable signal, but lower speeds, similar to 4G. Good for calls/text, but may struggle with high-res video. My professional tip, if your zip code shows T-Mobile 5G UC and Verizon 5G UW are both available, T-Mobile will almost certainly be faster, but Verizon will likely be more stable inside thick-walled buildings. Would you like me to find the specific best carrier ranking for your state based on the latest 2026 performance reports?
Yes.
Based on the latest reports from early 2026, there isn't one perfect carrier for every state. The winner depends on whether you prioritize blazing 5G speeds or rock-solid reliability. Here are the specific state and regional rankings from the most respected 2026 performance reports. 1. Speed and 5G leader T-Mobile. According to the January 2026 Open Signal report, T-Mobile is the undisputed king of speed and 5G availability in nearly every state. Best 4. Most states in the Southeast, Southwest, and West. Key stat. T-Mobile won 12 performance awards nationally, including 5G availability and download speed experience. Performance. In urban and suburban areas of states like California, Texas, and Florida, T-Mobile's ultra-capacity 5G often reaches speeds over 370 megabits per second. 2. Reliability and quality leader Verizon. The J.D. Power 2026 Network Quality Study and RootMetrics 2H 2025 reports show that Verizon still holds the crown for the best connection in the following regions. Northeast, e.g., NJ, NYPA. Verizon consistently ranks number 1 for network quality and reliability here. Mid-Atlantic, e.g., MD, VA, DC. Verizon holds a slight lead over AT&T for the most consistent signal. Best 4. Users who prioritize call quality and indoor signal strength over raw download speed. 3. Coverage and middle ground, AT&T. While AT&T rarely wins the fastest award, they currently lead in time on network, meaning their users are connected to a signal 99.6% of the time. States 1. AT&T took home the most state-level awards, 278 state root score awards, in the most recent RootMetrics testing, outperforming even Verizon in many rural state rankings. Best 4. States with large rural areas like Montana, Wyoming, and parts of the Midwest, where their 4G LTE footprint is still significantly larger than T-Mobile's. New Jersey Spotlight, your current location. Since you are in Trenton, New Jersey, here is the 2026 local breakdown. Overall champion Verizon continues to rank number 1 in the Northeast for reliability. In Trenton specifically, Verizon's 4G and 5G densification makes it the most stable choice for commuters and indoor use. Speed runner-up, T-Mobile, offers the fastest 5G speeds in the Trenton-Princeton corridor, but coverage can still dip slightly once you head toward the Pine Barrens or more rural parts of South Jersey. Coverage king, AT&T, holds the title for the most comprehensive 4G coverage in NJ, particularly in those rural dead zones where other carriers struggle. Would you like me to find the best value plan currently available in New Jersey for the carrier that looks best to you?
No, it's okay because I have all 3.
That is the ultimate power move. You're basically walking around with a 100% reliability guarantee. In the industry, we call that a triple threat setup, and it's become surprisingly popular in 2026 for people who work on the go or travel through rural parts of Jersey and the Northeast. Since you're managing all 3, here are a few tips to make sure you're actually getting the most out of that monthly bill. 1. Master the data switching toggle. If you're using an iPhone or a newer Samsung Pixel, make sure Allow Cellular Data Switching is turned on in your settings. This allows your phone to automatically jump from T-Mobile speed to Verizon reliability the second it detects a weak signal, without you having to manually fiddle with settings in the middle of a call or a map search. 2. Best use strategy for 2026. Since you have the big 3, here's how you should ideally assign them. Primary data, T-Mobile. Set this as your default for data. With their mid-band 5G now hitting over 370 megabits per second, it's going to give you the best experience for video and browsing. Secondary/voice, Verizon. Use this for your must-not-drop calls. Verizon still wins on call consistency and building penetration, great for basement offices or elevators. The Back Pocket Hero, AT&T. Keep this active for when you're in those weird rural pockets in South Jersey or Pennsylvania, where the other two might have a dead zone legacy issue. 3. Consolidation tools. Managing three separate apps, My Verizon, My AT&T, and T-Life, can be a headache. T-Life app, T-Mobile's 2026 app, is actually trying to become a hub. It now integrates a lot of third-party tracking. Link to coveragemap.com app. Since you have all three, you can actually contribute to the map. This app will let you run speed tests on all three lines and show you exactly how they are performing against each other at your current location. A quick question for you. Are you running all three on one device using eSIMs, or do you carry multiple phones? I can show you how to set up triple eSIM on one phone if you're tired of carrying three devices.
Yes, that'll be interesting.
Having all three major carriers, T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T, in one pocket is basically the final boss level of mobile connectivity. The good news is that as of 2026, you can actually manage all of them on one single device. But there is a slight catch regarding how many can stay awake at the exact same time. The Triple Threat Setup Guide. While most modern flagships, iPhone 13 to 17, Samsung S24, S26, and Pixel 7 to 10, can store up to 8 or even 20 eSIM profiles, the hardware is currently limited to having two of them active at any given moment. Here is how you can optimally juggle all three. 1. The setup, eSIM. If you haven't already, convert your physical SIM cards to eSIMs. Most carrier apps, T-Life for T-Mobile, My Verizon, etc., have a transfer to eSIM button. This frees up your physical slot, if you have one, and puts all three plans into your phone's digital memory. 2. The active pair strategy. Since you can only have two active at once, I recommend this configuration. Active 1, data, T-Mobile. Set this as your cellular data line. It's generally the fastest for 5G. Active 2, calls/texts, Verizon. Keep this active so you never miss a call, even in elevators or rural areas. The on-deck hitter, AT&T. Keep this profile off in your settings. If you ever hit a weird dead zone where T-Mobile and Verizon fail, it takes about 5 seconds to toggle one off and flip AT&T on. Instructions by device. Device. How to manage Max Active. iPhone 13 through 17. Go to Settings, Cellular. You'll see all your plans listed. Tap 1 to turn it on or off.
I already know how to do all that. But it's crazy that I have 15 people watching, right? And people left because I got Gemini reading these things to me. I'm dyslexic, guys. It would take me so long to read this. It's not even funny. But the funny part is that people rather hear me struggle to read than to actually listen to Gemini. Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. But yet you sit here and watch videos that are not true on YouTube made by AI. But when I'm using an AI to help me with my difficulty is a problem. But when you sit there and see fake videos of cops being racist and it's AI or a dog fighting a lion and winning, you guys sit there and watch it with no issue. Like, that's the issue that I have with the people nowadays. You sit there and leave my live stream when I'm using Gemini, but you sit there and watch a whole fake video with no issues. Make it make sense, man. That's all I'm saying. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So, like I said, you guys seen it? T-Mobile is catching up to Verizon. I mean, you guys heard it, catching up to Verizon on the customer base, of course. I have to disagree with Gemini on one thing. T-Mobile does have great indoor coverage in buildings and basements and everything. Because, like I said, the 5G the NC penetrates my basement. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's that's a video that I'll make today and post it at 12 o'clock a.m. tomorrow. So it'll be a video that I make today, Monday, going into Tuesday, and I'll show you guys the basement quality speed test. I'll lean the phone against my washer in the basement and do the speed test there. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I have to disagree on Gemini with, but it's just crazy that people sit here and leave a live stream because they hear an AI giving a breakdown. Well, what's so bad about an AI giving a breakdown? I'm seriously trying to comprehend that. Like, the mentality of some people is just weird. You'll watch a fake video on YouTube made with AI, but you don't want to hear an AI speak the truth about the carriers. That's beyond me. Back to the live stream. So anyway, basically, T-Mobile Business fixed the issue, gave me the credit, and now if I decide to keep the T-Mobile Business Home Internet, I will be paying $40 a month. That's how much I would be paying, $40 a month. $40 a month for T-Mobile Business. $40 a month. So yeah, it's a hell of a deal. So I'm seriously thinking about keeping the T-Mobile home, the T-Mobile Business internet, even though I don't really need it because it's only $40. Were you able to? Yes, I was able to reset one issue. Uh, Hold on. What is this? T-Mobile to your friends and family 10. I'm talking about you guys right now. Hold on, guys, because I'm taking a survey. Because that rep was awesome. Awesome. Please tell us why you gave us these scores. Excellent customer service. Can we ask you a few profile questions? It's super quick. I guess you T-Mobile, but I'm doing a live stream right now, bro. Which agree range would you apply with a number? Over 35. Hold on, over 35. Yeah, I'm over 35. 55 plus. Over 35, number one. No, I'm not under 35. What the hell I'm talking about? Sorry, it was number two. Which best describes with your number? I'm a male, bro. Like, I don't understand how the hell T-Mobile doesn't know this. Thank you for your. I'm not under 35. I forgot. I didn't read that. I'm rushing to get back to the live stream. Did you see the modal Midnight be coming out with something like the Galaxy? Oh yeah, I seen that already, bro. It's called the Moto G Fold because it is Moto. It's from the Moto G lineup. You guys got to remember. Shout out to YouTube, man, to Google in general. They give me content for my channel. Like, most of these T-Mobile deals and all this stuff that I find is through Google. I'll go on Google search, just to search something up, and then it'll show me what's trending. What they're talking about, basically. And yes, I seen the Moto G Fold, bro. It's supposed to be a pretty good phone. Definitely a pretty good phone. Like right now on Google, they're comparing the iPhone 18 Pro and iPhone 18 Pro Max, replacing features 35% slimmer. Then I don't believe that. I mean the notch. Yeah, if they're talking about the notch, then yeah. Yeah, the notch is slimmer. So almost looks like the screen is all screen on the 18 Pro. It only has like a little bit of the it's not called the notch, the borderlines. It only has a little bit of black. That's crazy. I'll show you guys right now on the live stream. So that I'm definitely gonna get the 18 Pro. So here we go. You see? So shout out to Google for this. Every time I go on Google search, you see the borders. On the right is on your left is the iPhone, or on your right, and then the 18 Pro is on the other side. So as you guys can see, the bezels, that's what you call them, bezels. The bezels are really shrunk on the iPhone 18 Pro, which is the one with the yellow wallpaper, and the blue and the green wallpaper is the 17 Pro, and the 18 Pro's over here. So you see, so even the dynamic island got smaller, as you guys can see, compared to the 17 Pro. So It's definitely looking good. And like I said, I'm gonna get it. So how many iPhones you got? Let's see. I got five. I got five iPhones. I got two 14 Pros, 15 Pro, and the 16 Pro and 17 Pro. 17 Pro is T-Mobile Business and Verizon Business. Uh, 14 Pro 1 terabyte is Visible. 14 Pro 256 unlocked T-Mobile Business is Visible. $35 plan. Sorry, this is the $35 plan and the $45 plan. This is the Visible Plus Pro plan, and this is the Visible Plus plan, which is $26 a month. Okay. Let me see. Then Boost Mobile on the 16 Pro, and Cricket is on the 15 Pros all the way upstairs. So yeah, I got five iPhones, and they're all Pro versions. I don't have the mid ranger. They're all the high end Pro versions. I gotta get the 15 Pros upstairs. It's charging. So yeah, I own a lot of iPhones, bro. I own five. So I could have bought a car with as much money as I spent on Apple. 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte. So right there, that's 1550. 1550 with taxes. 1550 with taxes. I'm sorry, no, more than 625 with taxes. 625 with taxes. This one was 525. 1525 with taxes because this is a 512. This one was 1,325 with taxes, and then the one upstairs was $1,325 with taxes. So they're all pros, and their storage is high. How much a that's all them plans. I pay a lot for phone bills, bro. Pay a lot. Case I hope Verizon lets me upgrade to the 18 Pro Max comes out. Yeah, hopefully, hopefully they do let you upgrade to the 18 Pro Max, broski. Yeah, yeah, guys. So I got Androids too. I got the Moto G's right here. The Moto G and the Google Pixel. The Pixel, I don't know where I threw it. I gotta look for it. It's somewhere in my room. But here goes the 2025 Moto G. This is the 2025 Moto G, as you guys can see. So I do have the Moto G. I do own Androids. So I pay a lot in cell phone bills. I pay a lot. I had the Galaxy A16. It's trash. You don't like it? Sold it to a friend. Okay. So what did you buy with the money? Now that you got rid of your let me go get the 15 Pro. But you can answer that. I'll be right back. I just gotta go up. I gotta go upstairs to get the 15 Pro because I know it's gotta be fully charged by now. I just got the Pixel 10 Pro XL and I like it so far. Okay, that's good. I heard the pros are good. The 17 Pro Max, yeah, that's a great option. That's definitely a great option. That's a super upgrade from a Samsung Galaxy A17 to an iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's a super upgrade. I'll be back. I am back, guys. I will say this: my 15 Pro is pissing me the hell off because the USB Type C is getting wear and tear. I put it to charge, and the USB Type C slides out. So it was supposed to been charged. I put it to charge at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 7 o'clock at night. It should have been charged. Here goes my 15 Pro right here. As you guys can see, it is on Cricket on the dark screen network. What I call it, the dark green network. So I got to put to charge again, man. I was hoping this shit was fully charged, but this doesn't grip. The USB Type C already has wear and tear on this phone. I mean, the phone up. This is the original phone that I bought from T-Mobile, when it first came out. So this phone is about to be what 3 years old, and the USB Type C has taken a lot of damage because, like I said, it freaking slips out. So now I gotta put the charge. But yeah, um, the new update today. There's a new update today. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. A new update. Let me see. iOS 26.1, unless it automatically updated while I was sleeping. Oh yeah, it's there. It says unavailable to download when data made is turned on. Data what? Data mode is turned on. The hell is this? Downloading are too low. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh, because this is on stupid Boost Mobile. I gotta put this shit on Wi-Fi, of course. Even Apple recognizes that freaking But yeah, the update is there. It's basically saying that Boost Mobile's too weak to download the iOS 26 point one. So I'm gonna use my Wi-Fi. So hopefully this update fixed the lagging that I've been experiencing on all my phones. In some pages it lags. You guys will notice when I do screen recordings. Let me see. Did it upgrade on this one? Because I had this shit on Wi-Fi all night. Oh no, it did. Look at this one. It has no problem downloading it over T-Mobile 5G UC. It lets me download it, and I'm not on Wi-Fi. Let's put T-Mobile to the test. Boom. We're gonna download the update using T-Mobile while Mr. Boost. And look, I'm downloading this update through T-Mobile home Wi-Fi, 5G home internet. So T-Mobile 5G home internet as that we're downloading. And it says it's 36, 35, 24. So it's downloading fast on the T-Mobile home internet. So we got the 16 Pro and 17 Pro doing the new update. 17 Pro, 16 Pro. I might as well do it on the 15 Pro while I was back there charging. Might as well, right? Might as well. I'll do it over Verizon Wi-Fi. Where's the update at? Let me see. Oh, where's my settings? General update. Mhm. Look, already installing, and this is T-Mobile Home Internet. Hold on, let me turn the camera back on so I can show it to you guys. This is T-Mobile Home Internet, and it's already downloading the. I'm using the T-Mobile Home Internet to download this update, iOS 26.1.2.1, and you see my carrier here is Boost Mobile. So yeah, and then T-Mobile Business downloading on over, T-Mobile 5G UC, as you guys can see. My phone's not on Wi-Fi and it's downloading the update with no issues. So there we go. Like I said, T-Mobile Home Internet is reliable, guys. It's definitely reliable to get the job done. I don't know what the hell's happening with my 15 Pro. I might have to get this phone swapped out, to be completely honest with you guys, because this phone is just giving me issues. I mean, what is wrong, Shadow? What's wrong? Hmm? There we go. There we go. So now I'm updating all three phones: 15 Pro, 16 Pro, 17 Pro. But yeah, guys, like I was saying, man, T-Mobile Business fixed the issue. So that's why I love T-Mobile Business and I stay faithful to T-Mobile Business. Boost is terrible. 35 gigs of data only. Nah, I don't even get that. I get 30 gigs on the $25 forever plan. And now in store, they're not even letting postpaid customers get that plan anymore. Boost is trying to force you either on the $50 plan or the $60 plan if you're gonna go postpaid. But I mean, it's the best option because that's the only way you can finance a phone. You can't finance a phone with the $25 plan. I basically forced Boost Mobile to switch me to the $25 plan because their $65 Boost Infinite plan is trash. It's straight trash. Dumpster fire trash. You're getting 30 measly gigs of high speed data just because they're giving you international roaming. And I don't give a shit about none of that. Let's be honest. I personally don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a dumb feature. They should have gave you hotspot for $65 because you're paying $65, 60 with auto pay. Um, it's just bad, overall bad. The plan is just straight dumpster fire trash. It should have been um at least 60 gigs of premium data. Or since they're charging you 65, pull a freaking Metro, 70 gigs of premium data. 70 gigs of premium data, 15 gigs of hotspot, 25 gigs of hotspot, and then the plan will probably be worth $65. But as it stands, the Boost Infinite plan is trash. I don't recommend it to nobody. You might as well just get a regular plan, get yourself the $50 plan, and forget about getting the phone for free and just pay the $36 or the $35 or however much, how many gigs you want on your Samsung or your Pixel or your iPhone. Because in all seriousness, Boost Mobile's plans are just not good. Not good. You know what I'm saying? They're not good because you're paying, right? You're paying an arm and a leg for the service, and then you don't even get truly unlimited data. Your data slows down to 3G speeds after you go over. So I hardly use my Boost Mobile line. I'm serious. I stopped using it. When was the last time I did a speed test on Boost Mobile? Oh my god. It's been months. I think it is since the last time I had Boost Native Dish on my phone. When I had Boost Native Dish, I used to speed test all the time. But then, they sold their assets to Mr. Elon Musk. So he could get 5G on Starlink. So Starlink is gonna have 5G before the end of this year, hopefully. So, you know, Boost is asked out. I don't know why this dude always wants to. Let me just stay quiet. You're better off going to AT&T. So, we got AT&T. Yeah, I got Cricket. I wish my 16 Pro would have been unlocked. I would have had Cricket on there instead of Boost. The day I pay off my iPhone 16 Pro is the day I leave Boost. Boost is not for me. Boost is for people that use minimal internet, that care about affordable reliability, and that's it. Because Boost is on the highest QCI level with AT&T, which is QCI 9, and the service just sucks. I mean, let's be honest, the service sucks. Verizon works better in my area than AT&T. Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot. Verizon's really good. They're really good. Millimeter wave is a game changer. Is a beast. Ultra wideband is a beast. And yeah, guys, I don't have the big light on because I'm trying to save electricity. And this light in the back is bright enough. Should have blind me a looking back. I don't know if that's an LED light. I don't think so, but it's just bright. So, but I love T-Mobile. T-Mobile is my favorite company. And like I said, what can I say? Freaking T-Mobile for business customer care to get the job done. No, I was promised something and it's not given to me. They sit there and they do what they got to do to get it done. So, but I also want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. We're at 54,000. Yeah, baby. You know, these milestones, baby. We are at 54,073. Yeah, baby. So, guys, I don't want to rub people the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm just being honest. Like, why do you get mad and leave? Because I got Gemini breaking stuff down about cell phones when I'm dyslexic. And even if I wasn't dyslexic, let's say you want to be lazy and you don't want to read all these damn paragraphs. Because them things are paragraphs, okay, that she's reading. Who the hell, even if you know how to read, my kids know how to read. All four of them. And they don't like reading. They'll have there and have Google Gemini to read. Read this paragraph for homework. Okay. And Gemini reads it. And I don't get mad at my kids and be like, yo, don't use Gemini. No, that's dumb. That is really dumb. AI was meant to be a good thing, not a bad thing. All three networks in my area work great, but I think Verizon has more compatibility in my area and more than N77, but but both Verizon and T-Mobile are the faster than AT&T. AT&T too far off. Okay, so Verizon does have more N77, more C-band than AT&T. That's a known fact. Okay, but there's not more N77 from from Verizon or AT&T to compare to N41 that T-Mobile has rolled out. T-Mobile's been the leader of 5G since it first started. T-Mobile has been rolling out N41 since Jesus Christ, I don't even know how long. And the crazy thing is that um T-Mobile bought US Cellular for its assets, right? For the spectrum. And AT&T wanted to be a I don't want to curse, but they wanted to be ignorant and buy N41 off the auction that happened before, which the FCC is pissing me off at this point. The FCC and DOJ is pissing me off at this point. If T-Mobile was buying US Cellular, is not a monopoly. US Cellular is not Sprint. Sprint had freaking around 25 to 30 million subs, or maybe 50. You heard what Gemini had to say. They only had 4 million subs. You know what I'm saying? Customers. So it's not fair that the FCC forced basically uh US Cellular to sell their assets to other companies, to Verizon and all that, just so they could be bought out by T-Mobile. T-Mobile should have got the whole kit and caboodle. That means all that N41 should have been theirs. Every bandwidth, every whatever, you know, all that spectrum is what I'm trying to say, should have been theirs. Because what the hell is AT&T gonna do with N41? Nothing. They did it on purpose. I think they bought like 30 or 40 megahertz of N41 just so T-Mobile wouldn't have it when they purchased um freaking what's it called? Purchased US Cellular. But guess what, AT&T? T-Mobile still better. So you did that, all that for nothing. All that for nothing in the world. And that's just ignorant. I dislike ignorancy. When you're doing something out of spite, it's really, really ignorant. And that's what AT&T did. AT&T bought like 25 to 30 megahertz of N41 when they don't even need it. They don't even use it, just so T-Mobile wouldn't get it. And that's just crazy to me. Like T-Mobile needs to get better lawyers and crack down on the FCC. Hell no. Hell, you're not gonna do this. Remember when we bought out Sprint, and because we were getting the spectrum, the N41 spectrum included with the Sprint merger, you guys made us dilute and sell Boost to Dish, and sell Virgin Mobile to Dish, and dilute the company just to buy it. Okay, that's understandable because they had like 30 to 40 million subscribers. But with US Cellular only having four? No, no, all that spectrum is coming over here, baby. That spectrum is not going nowhere, not to AT&T, not to Verizon, to nobody but us, T-Mobile. Because that's the whole point of this acquisition, is so we could get this spectrum. So I just think that AT&T, that's one thing I despise about AT&T. That's another thing that my boy Sneed Mobile Tech talks about a lot. AT&T has shady business practices, and that's one of them. Like, why would you buy N41 knowing that T-Mobile needs it? T-Mobile's still better than you guys. Hands down, in Pennsylvania, T-Mobile craps all over AT&T. Look at my shorts on I-95 going up North Pennsylvania towards Pittsburgh. Freaking T-Mobile was demolishing AT&T. I was getting over a gig, and AT&T was only getting 150 down. Over a gig on T-Mobile, 150 down on AT&T. So yeah, you're doing all that for what? For what? What are you gonna do with the N41? Have it dead, sick, collecting dust? No. If I was the board of directors of AT&T, because AT&T is a publicly traded company, just like T-Mobile and Verizon. I would have been like, yo, we not spending this 5 billion on service that we're not gonna use. I'm not gonna agree to this. This is a dumb thing to do. Why we're gonna allow Hans Vesper to make an investment for this? Oh, because it's gonna hurt. No, it's not gonna hurt T-Mobile. T-Mobile's been rolling out the damn 5G N41 before we did, years before we did. So what are you talking about? So I think in this situation, I don't care. I'm not usually talking about board of directors for companies and stuff like this, but you board of directors need to get involved, especially on the AT&T buying chopping block. Seriously, that was a dumb thing to do. Is AT&T gonna roll it out? Board of directors? Mr. You know that? You know what? This guy seems like he talks a lot of trash, but he's right. Why did we spend 5 billion on N41 that AT&T is not rolling flat out? It's not. It's not C-band. It's N41. Does this make sense? No, that YouTuber is right. So I hope that in the near future, Hans Vestberg is threatened to lose his job and has to sell that N41 to T-Mobile. We don't care what stupid shit you guys got going on. You're gonna sell that damn spectrum to T-Mobile, give that shit back to them because you should have never bought it in the first place. Because you're not rolling out N41, you're trying to roll out N77 and this other mid band that and they bought N71. I think it was N71. They bought N71 low band that T-Mobile needed off of Boost Mobile. For what reason? They said they're gonna roll it out over the next 5 years. You see, that's what I'm talking about. AT&T is just too spiteful when it comes to trying to hurt T-Mobile. But T-Mobile still got more customers than you guys, and T-Mobile still has faster 5G than you guys, and the service is more reliable than you guys. And that's a known fact. That is a known fact. So I don't understand. That's what gets me mad, and this is why I curse, guys. I'm not cursing because I said I need, my channel's growing. I need to be respectful to my new subscribers. We're at 54,000. And if I want these brands to do business with me at 54,000 subs, because I definitely look attractive to them, it's just the fact that I always curse. But this is why I curse, because AT&T is just so spiteful. First, they buy the N71, the N41 that they don't need from US Cellular. So T-Mobile wouldn't get it when they did the acquisition, right? Then they go to Mr. What's his name? The CEO of Dish. I forgot that whatever it's called, OnStar, whatever. I forgot what his satellite crap is called. But anyway, you guys know Charlie Ergen. He goes to Charlie Ergen. Yeah, we know that you're in debt and you need this money, so you can piggyback right off of AT&T, but we need that N71. And then they told the FCC and the DOJ that no, FCC and DOJ, no, if they don't roll it out within the next 2 years, you take it away and you force them to sell it to T-Mobile. That's what the FCC needs to do. You force them to sell it to T-Mobile. If they don't roll it out between 2026 and 2027 and 2028, it needs to be sold to T-Mobile. How are you guys going to let them take 5 years to roll out N71, low band 5G? That's crazy. AT&T's just hating. They are hating. They still don't have standalone. They don't have standalone 5G. Who's the only ones that have standalone 5G? T-Mobile and Verizon. They don't have standalone. They're still doing aggregation. So since they know that T-Mobile can use that N71 for standalone low band 5G, they don't want them to get it. But it's too late, guys. You started the race too late. Why can't you understand that? Why you can't take that loss? I seriously don't understand it. That's what I despise about AT&T. Their shady practices. Shady practices. No, we're butthurt because T-Mobile has standalone and Verizon has standalone 5G, and we still don't have standalone 5G because they don't. You haven't seen nobody report, yo, I'm picking up standalone 5G on AT&T because it doesn't exist. That's crazy, yo. The spies that T-Mobile has for AT&T is out of this world. I know they're holding a grudge because um John Legend is what I call like to call him. John Legier, the OCO of T-Mobile that made T-Mobile to the successful company that they are right now, used to be the CFO of AT&T. Well, you guys are the ones who lost them. Your guys are the ones who let T-Mobile get them instead of making them your CEO, you idiots. That has nothing to do with T-Mobile. And then T-Mobile gave John Ledger so much money. There's a no civil there's civil clause. Like he can't go work for Verizon or AT&T. You don't know how bad AT&T wants to get rid of John Spanky and have John Legier as their new CEO, but he got paid too much money, way too much money. I heard T-Mobile gave him, and I'm not even joking with you guys. I heard T-Mobile gave him like 250 million. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. $250 million for zero clause for 10 years. For 10 years. So a whole decade he's got to work. He's got to wait. So he still can't be Verizon or AT&T CEO till probably like maybe when was it that John Legier left T-Mobile? 2000 what? 2000 and like 22, right? Yeah, 2022. So 10 years, that would be 2032. So he can't be AT&T or Verizon CEO till 2032. Okay. But I would have done the same shit. 250 mil. You're going to give me 250 mil and I can't take a contract from AT&T or Verizon to be their CEO. Give me that money. Give me that. I'm good. I'm set for the rest of my life. That's the contracts that basketball players get, soccer players get, football players get if they're really good. 250 mil for 5 to 7 years. Okay? And he got that for a 10-year contract, zero clause that he can't go to no other no competitor. And he has to stay at home just chilling, waving his face with $100 bills. So that's why AT&T has so much hate for T-Mobile. But they're the ones who let go of the CFO, right? If AT&T would have been smart, they'd be like, "Hold on, John Leger is a nice prospect. He's leading us in the right direction. Why not give him the CEO status instead of the last CEO they had before John Spanky? That was terrible. You lost. That's like if I'm in a relationship with a great woman and I lose her to somebody else, I'm gonna hold a grudge against that person for the rest of my life. Man, I hate him. He got my ex, man. I hate him. I'm serious. It's like a scarred ex person. If you're not gonna be mine, you're not gonna be nobody's. And since we can't get John Legend back, we're gonna make T-Mobile's life a living nightmare, in lack of other words, a living nightmare. And that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand what's going on. That's what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna applaud that ignorant behavior from AT&T. I'm just not. I'm not gonna applaud that ignorant behavior from AT&T. AT&T has no business holding grudges. They lost John Legier. They lost John Legier. End of story. That's it. Get over your loss. You'll be all right. It'll be okay. AT&T. You feel me? You just haters. And if I was the board of directors, I'd be like, I don't agree with this. That young YouTuber, he's right. He makes a lot of sense, guys. We're wasting money on stupid stuff when T-Mobile's already light years ahead of us with 5G. They've been had standalone. T-Mobile has been had standalone. When the iPhone 14 Pro came out, that's when T-Mobile started standalone. And how old is the iPhone 14 Pro going to be? 4 years. Oh wow! So T-Mobile's 4 years ahead, and we still don't have standalone. Yeah, we still don't got standalone. So you're hating for what reason? For what reason? I understand if you guys were trying to stop T-Mobile from having standalone, that would make sense. But T-Mobile already has had standalone for the last, like I said, the last 4 years. So what does it matter if you guys try to block T-Mobile as it stands when they have had the thing that you want for the last 4 years? It just doesn't make any type of sense to me. Doesn't make any type of sense to be a hater instead of a congratulator when you're already, you're too late to the race, to the rat race, basically. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. AT&T holds a lot of disdain against T-Mobile, and a lot of you guys don't know why. And I'm explaining to you guys why. And that's a fact. AT&T is full off, bro. Yeah, it's falling off. Been falling off. I don't like AT&T. Get your phone without what time of this is. I really wish AT&T could do a yeah. Yeah, and they just need to stop, guys. They really need to stop, doing what they're doing. Holding this stain over T-Mobile. Doing stuff, wasting money, unnecessary money. What the hell did you waste what was it? 3 to 5 billion dollars on N41, then another 2.5 billion on N71 when I don't even think they use N71 for their low band 5G. They just bought it to buy it. And then they told the FCC, yeah, we're going to roll it out in the next 5 years. No, FCC. If AT&T does not roll out the N71 in the next 5 years, give them a $100 million fine and make them sell the N71 to T-Mobile. Because I don't understand why not let T-Mobile get it. It's not a monopoly. It's not a monopoly. It's helping the customers out, like myself and the millions of T-Mobile customers. Okay, by them having more spectrum. Because Jesus, you would think that you guys would be on top of that. You know what I'm saying? The merge happened now this year, so they're. I mean, no, but they did sell the assets. I think last year. Yeah, so the ones that stopped T-Mobile from getting them assets were the Democratic FCC, not the Republican FCC, because that happened while Joe Biden was still the president. I got to remember that. So yeah, so it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. They have closed this. It would help T-Mobile customers like me, of course. But AT&T is always doing some shady stuff. So now that the FCC is full of Republicans and the DOJ, I think you guys need to listen to me. AT&T told the Democratic side of you guys that they would roll it out in 5 years. No, that's unacceptable. If they don't roll it out in the next 2 years, give them $100 million fine, and make them sell the spectrum. End of story. Make them sell the spectrum. They shouldn't be withholding something that they don't even need because they don't. They're late to the rat race. T-Mobile's number one right now, standalone, hands down, number one. Hey Alex, is Verizon using standalone? Yeah, Verizon has standalone. Verizon has standalone. If you want me to do a Verizon standalone speed test, I'll do it right now. Let me turn on my Verizon business line. And a matter of fact, I'll show you guys on the live stream. Okay. I just turned on the Verizon line. What the hell? The phone went crazy. The phone went crazy. So anyway, let's go here. Now let me show you guys. See, I'm on. Hold on. Why is Verizon not picking up no? Oh, there we go. Nope. Hold on. I didn't fully switch it. Personal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What the hell? There we go. I was wondering what the hell was happening. Let me see right here. You see? I will bring the brightness down. Verizon's on the top, T-Mobile Business is on the bottom. You see that? Verizon Business. Okay. Now I want to show you. See, 5G Auto and standalone is turned on. Standalone 5G, voice over standalone improves call quality. So you see it right there. 5G standalone is toggled on for Verizon Business. So Verizon has standalone here in Jersey. So that's why Google Gemini was saying what she was saying. So we'll do a standalone speed test. No problem with that. It picked up a booth server. That's crazy. Let me see. Let me take it off this boost server. Put it on this Verizon server. There we go. This is a Verizon standalone speed test. And if you guys are gonna ask me if Total could get standalone, no. Can Visible get standalone? No, not yet. I heard Verizon prepaid supports standalone, but you got to get Verizon prepaid. So we're getting 217 over 525, which is not bad. It's not tanking. Let me try another one. Another one. I need to get sleep. You can see these dark rings around my eyes. Hate that. Pretty soon, the Verizon service in my area is going to be really bad, guys. They're destroying. The hospital is supposed to be demolished in 4 years, and it looks like it's going to be demolished in 2026. They already got to the other half of the hospital. So pretty soon, I'm pretty sure Verizon and AT&T are going to be notified that they got to take those towers off the hospital. So the AT&T and Verizon is going to take a major, major hit when that happens. So, it's out of their control. So I'm not going to sit here and say anything negative. It's out of their hands. So they're going to have to find somebody close that they can convince to let them put panels, new towers up. So now we're gonna do T-Mobile, T-Mobile Business standalone. And this is exactly why T-Mobile's king in my house. We got 391 over 94 on standalone. 391 over 96 on standalone. T-Mobile standalone. So this is why T-Mobile's the king in my house. They reign supreme, baby, supreme. So yeah, guys, it is what it is. I was gonna do this live stream earlier, but you know, I cooked. I made steak and ribeye steak. I seared it and I made it with what's that called? Pasta. This is what I had for dinner today. This is what I made. So I know how to cook, guys. I just be lazy. You know what I'm saying? I know how to cook. I just be lazy. And that's why you always see me eating out, whether it's McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, ordering DoorDash, Uber Eats. I haven't ordered Grubhub yet, and that's that's free due to me being a Prime member. So in case you guys didn't know, if you're a Prime member, you get Grubhub for free. Hmm. And if you're a PayPal member, you get what is it? You get what is that called? Jesus Christ. You get Uber Eats 6 months for free. That's what I meant to say. Uber Eats. I was the same. Yeah, bro. So, made some steak today. I was hungry. I was like, I'm gonna get to cooking this steak. But yeah, man, that's why T-Mobile is, could be in a way better position than they are right now. But because of hating behind AT&T, it is what it is. That N41 spectrum could be added in a place where there's only limited spectrum for N41, whether it's in the East Coast, the West Coast, or the Midwest. And then the N71 low band could have been the same thing. Anywhere where they needed it, they could have used it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, when let's be honest, when it's I hate to talk about politics, but it's the truth. It is the truth. When it's a Democratic side of the FCC and the DOJ, they consider anything a monopoly. Anything a monopoly. Anything a monopoly. It's just crazy. They're like, no, 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 no. This is a monopoly. You can't buy this. You can't buy that. But you know who the hell they don't say no to? Disney. Disney's a real monopoly. They bought Marvel. They bought Fox. They bought NBC. Like they could do whatever the heck they want to do with no issues. And the FCC won't, whether it's Democratic or Republican, they won't say nothing to them. Nothing. And that's what, like, that's a real monopoly. And I don't see them putting up a fight. No, Disney, you cannot acquire the whole catalog of Marvel. Nope. Just to let you know, we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do, and we're acquiring Marvel. Oh yeah, no, no, you're not gonna have no pushback from us. They submit fast as hell. But when it comes to a cell phone company, God forbid, it's the end of the world. No, no, you can't do this. This is not business adequate. This is not good for business. You're hurting the competition and all 1,001 excuses. Disney is evil with all that. Oh yeah, yeah, they are. They definitely are. But hey, guys, it is what it is, right? We can't do nothing about it. I can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. It is what it is. Know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Disney's gonna continue to be evil and get away with whatever the heck they want to get away with. What you said? Democrats are oh, anything when oh yeah. But I'm talking about like when it comes to purchasing companies, broski. I don't want to get into politics on my channel, bro. Last year that hurt my channel, and I'm not trying to do that this year. I really don't want to talk about nothing that has to do with Republican, none of that. But this is not a politic channel. This is a tech channel. You know what I'm saying? And my channel's finally growing, so I don't want to ruin none of that, bro. I want to keep growing. My dream is to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2027, to be completely honest with you guys. And the only way that I'm going to get there is by me not talking about politics. Yeah, they're just it's the same thing with Disney, bro. Like Disney could get away with everything. Doesn't matter if it's a Republican president or a Democratic president. Disney could get away with highway robbery. They could acquire whoever the heck. If they wanted to sit here today and say we're buying Telemundo and Univision, both Spanish channels, they won't get no pushback. I guarantee they don't get no pushback. Yeah, no, no, whatever you want, Disney. You want Telemundo, Univision, you want Unimax. Do you want to buy the Puerto Rico channel too, Wapa? Go ahead. You can have all the Dominican channels, all the Mexican channels, all the Puerto Rican channels. You can have anything you want, Disney. Everything is in here. It's yours. So it's crazy, man. So that's why I get mad at the FCC and DOJ when they say a company wants to buy another one and it's all monopoly. But yet when Disney's sitting here buying everything, it's not a monopoly. You know, I heard Disney wants to buy freaking uh what is it? DC. That up. They want to have all of it. But then I had heard that Apple was in talks about buying Disney, but they said that was a lie. Um, Apple was going to acquire Disney, but then they said that's a lie. So I don't know who wants to buy Disney. I know that's got to be a lot of money to buy Disney, a whole bunch of bread. I think everyone has an Apple too much. Yeah. So it's just a lot of things, guys. A lot of things that we could disagree with in life. We could only stress about the things we have control over, and that's what I try to do. I know I watch the news too, and I'm saddened by things that are going on, but I just mind my business, man. To be honest, I do. I mind my business. I don't talk about things I don't need to talk about, and I just stay in my lane. Stay in my lane. Because me, living in a place where people die, you could say every other day, is really frustrating. It's really pissing me off. When I see people recording ICE agents, but they don't sit here and record crimes being committed. They don't record that. They're not recording a shooting of somebody else shooting somebody else. They don't record none of that. So it's just keep the same vibes. Keep the same vibes. That's all I'm saying. If you're gonna record this, then record this too. Don't just choose to record this. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's really, really crazy right now. That's why I don't even like being on Twitter because I'm always arguing on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? People blaming Christianity for what's going on, and God has nothing to do with what's going on. And that's a fact. It's crazy. Like, this is all I'm going to say about this. People always expect for the United States to turn a blind eye to certain things, like the immigration rules. Okay. And every country in this world has immigration laws. Okay. Mexico and Guatemala and other South American countries have stricter immigration laws than the United States. Okay. So, me being a U.S. citizen, because I am a U.S. citizen, even though I was born in Puerto Rico, I was born with my citizenship. Okay. I go to Mexico. I overstay there, right? My visa says 90 days. If I don't go renew my visa after that 90 days and get a 6 months visa, I get 90 days in a Mexican prison, okay? 90 days in a Mexican prison. And then if after that I still stay there, then I get banned from coming into Mexico for 5 years. So not only did I break the law by not being a Mexican citizen and being a U.S. citizen in invading their country, Mexico, and trying to apply my own rules and laws in their country, I sat here and I overstayed my welcome, and now they punish me with 90 days in prison. So imagine if Donald Trump would have done that, or any president, Obama, Bill Clinton, every president that has enforced the immigration law, because it has been Democrats enforcing the immigration laws and Republicans. That's one thing they could agree on. Okay, And imagine if the Constitution of the United States of America said that if you get here illegally and you overstay your welcome, you're going to do 90 days in prison. Imagine how the Democrats would have been going even more crazy right now. They're already going crazy, but they would have been wilding out even more. And it's just crazy. Like, listen, guys, you could be Democrat and be smart, like my family and my friends. All I told my friend, and we don't even argue about this no more. He's a hardcore Democrat. He voted for Kamala Harris, and my nephew did too. All I did was tell them, do your research. Just do me that favor. Ask Google Gemini, what are the immigration laws in other countries? And when they got back to me, they just said, you know what? I'm not arguing with you no more. I'm not going to get mad because of what's going on with ICE. I'm just going to shut up. They stopped arguing because it's the truth. Other countries have stricter immigration laws than we do here. And that's a fact. So it's okay for other third party countries to enforce their immigration laws, but as soon as the United States does it, is a crime. It's a crime against humanity. It's a crime against well being. Oh, well being is if you're here illegally. Let's say if I was an illegal immigrant and I was from South or Central America, the first thing that I would have done instead of buying a car, buying a house under somebody else's name, because that's I'm being honest, that's what most people do. I would have seeked a lawyer and seeked citizenship like my friends. My neighbors right now, you can go outside. They got the real ID. Just like I do. I got the real ID. So I stops them, they see the real ID. Here you go. You're a citizen. I don't even need to argue. You got the real ID. There you go. Go back in your house. And that's exactly what happened to my neighbor that lives right across the street. I came running after somebody else. They stopped him. They was like, "Can we see your license?" The license is the real ID license. Boom. They let him go to work. Here you go. Thank you. Be on your way. And people are over here exaggerating, saying that ICE is stopping and taking to the ICE facility U.S. citizens and all that. No, they're not U.S. citizens. The ones that are they're taking over there are people that are here on a visa. That's not being a U.S. citizen. A U.S. citizen is when you have your social security number, a permanent social security number, not a temporary one where you can work, not a working visa. That's not you being a U.S. citizen. Okay, and a lot of people need to understand this. If you're, and I'm talking in general, if you're from another country and you're here illegally, right, and you speak English because you were raised in the United States, you don't have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of the press. You don't have none of that. Because in the Constitution of the United States of America, this great country, it says that you have to be a citizen of this great country in order to take advantage of these laws. So if you're not a US citizen, you basically don't have nothing. So don't believe these Democrats that are saying lying to you on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, and all. They don't know shit. They don't do research. Read look up the Constitution yourself, and you'll see where it says that illegal immigrants that are not here legally, that are just here on a work visa, on a school visa, on a temporary visa, does not make you a U.S. citizen. Okay, U.S. citizen, permanent citizen is like me. I'm a U.S. citizen, so I can invoke all the freedom of speech. I could go record whoever the hell I want to record. Okay, and I still choose not to do it. So that's what you got to think. And if you got family that are here illegally, you need to tell them because Donald Trump is going to pass a law in 2026 where if you're here with a working visa, a freaking school visa and all that, and you're breaking the law and recording ICE and talking bad about ICE and talking bad about him, when under the Constitution of the great United States of America says that if you're not a permanent resident of the United States, you cannot speak bad about the president or any law enforcement or anybody for that matter in this great country, you're going to get deported. So, yeah, just giving you a wake up call. Just in case you're one of the ones that watch me, you sit here and record. Oh, we got ICE. Guys, don't come outside. ICE is here. And then when ICE asks you, oh, you got a visa? Well, yeah, I'm here on working for 6 months. Well, yeah, you're getting deported too. But why? I got my work. No, you're not a U.S. citizen. You're a temporary citizen, not a U.S. citizen. So know the law, man. That's why it's so important for you to know the law. You cannot do what I do when you're not a citizen of this country. Okay. So the first thing that ICE is going to ask you is this. This is the first thing. You have the real ID? And you're gonna be like, no, man, I don't know what the real ID is. So boom, I'm gonna cover up of course, my license number and all that stuff, and I'm gonna let you see. See, if I get stopped by ICE, you see the little star right there, right? That little gold star. This is the real ID. It has that little gold star, and it's from the government, from you know, the motor vehicles in New Jersey. So there you go. I got the little star right there, as you guys can see. This is the real ID. And if you have a license, it'll say it'll have the same little star like my neighbor has, that he's from Guatemala. So if you don't have this ID, you are gonna get deported. So that's what you need to understand. So in this situation, I'm gonna say mind your business and worry about yourself. And that's the best thing you can do is worry about yourself. If these ignorant Democrats want to go out there that are U.S. citizens, whether they're black, white, Puerto Rican, I don't give a shit what race they are, and they want to do dumb shit, let them do it by themselves. Don't do it with them because you will be deported. So, you learn something about tech and now you're learning something about the great law of the United States of America. So I'm telling you, mind your business. Mind your business. They already said that they're going to get it approved through the Supreme Court of the United States of America. The new law that if you're here with a visa, a working visa, a school visa, and you try to engage in acts that are for U.S. citizens, your visa will be revoked and you will be deported. And this is the video that I made on TikTok that got over 10,000 views. Me talking about this in Spanish because I am trying to help my Hispanics are. Mind your business, bro. Does it hurt? Yes. Are families being torn? Yes. But Donald Trump did the same thing. Obama did the same thing. Bill Clinton did the same thing. Every president of the United States of America has deported people. The only reason they're making it mainstream media is because people hate Donald Trump. So that's why they want to make it all, oh my God, da, da, da. You think these people don't get paid? They get paid. They actually get paid to go out there with signs and, oh my God, all you radical, what they call megas, all you megas, no, 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 they getting paid. They are getting paid to do that. They're not doing it for free. They are getting paid. And I got the proof right here. There was a guy in Philly that was recording and he asked a girl, he was like, why don't you get a real job? I'm Republican. Why don't you get a real job? This is my job. I get paid to stand out here with this sign. So they get paid. You guys are thinking that all that 1,000 and something people that were in Philly making that scene, they're all getting paid. You think them people actually care about Hispanic people? Yo, right. Yo, right. Get the hell out of here. They don't care about Hispanic people. None of them people that were in that rally has ever experienced racism. None of them. So they have no business being there in the first place. Está bien, está bien. So I'm looking for the video right now so you guys can hear it. You guys are gonna laugh because she's saying, "Oh yeah," the guy's like, "Yeah, go get a real job," and she was like, "I'm getting paid." So I'm looking for the video right now because I'll be saving mad videos from TikTok on my phone. Matter of fact, hold on, let me go on TikTok because I know. Hold on, let me go on TikTok on this phone because it's closer to the mic. So that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm not talking about politics right now. I'm talking about, you minding your business and don't do the monkey see, monkey do. Let that idiot Democrat, even if you're a Democrat yourself, get in trouble. Let them, get maced in the face by ICE. You mind your business. You feel me? Mind your business. If I'm minding my business and I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican, and I'm minding my business, you definitely should mind your business if you're black and white. And that's just a fact. Definitely mind your business. If I'm minding my business and I'm Puerto Rican, because I am Hispanic and I'm minding my business. She ain't got nothing to do with me. Just because people want to make it mainstream, just because they want to make it main news media because it's Donald Trump. That's what I hate. That's why I don't even watch the news. But when you know Joe Biden sat here and deported a whole family before he left the White House in December, a whole Mexican family got deported. They didn't put that on the TV, right? They didn't show ICE taking that whole family in California to Mexico, right? Because everybody loved Joe Biden, the great Joe Biden. But since it's Donald Trump, oh man, we got to make this guy look bad, really bad. What we're gonna do? You know what? We're gonna record all these ICE agents. We're gonna pay all these idiots that don't have common sense. They're gonna do this. These radical leftists, yeah, man, let's give them a couple of dollars. They're funded by billionaires. That's who's inciting this thing. People don't do research, man. There's more billionaires that are Democrats than Republicans, and that is a known fact. So they're the ones, freaking sitting here and basically paying for all this. And I'm looking for the video right now. Jesus Christ, I like too many videos on freaking. Let me see, because I had posted it and they have reported me. The Democrats hate me on TikTok. Every video that I post, factual things that they could search up, they report my video. It's crazy. Oh, right here. Here we go. Hold on.
The ones that are protesting are paid actors. Don't believe me?
Listen.
Do you have a job? Do you have a job? Well, will you look at that? You're getting paid right now while you're protesting? Who's paying you? Secondly, why are they paying you to protest? I had no idea that protesting is a career for some people. How right after Venezuela takes place, immediately after Times Square, Portland, Oregon, Washington, all around the country, people just came together. They are that united that thousands of people showed up at the exact same time, at the exact same place, chanting the exact same thing. Who's paying you? So if people are getting paid to protest, that means they're only there because they're getting paid, not because they believe in what they're protesting. I mean, I got to search up on Craigslist because, bruh, they're paid actors.
Listen
The
to
ones
this
that are
again.
protesting are paid actors. Don't believe me? Do you have a job? Do you have a job? I'm getting paid right now. Well, will you look at that? You're getting paid right now while you're protesting? Well, who's paying you? Secondly, why are they paying you to protest? I had no idea.
That's what I'm saying. And what was the whole point of people protesting against Donald Trump invading Venezuela? Do you even know what the hell the Venezuela was going through with Nicolas Maduro? The dude was a big drug king lord. And on top of that, he was running the country. And he was one of the big dictators. So for the idiots that say that you know, Donald Trump is the dictator, move to Venezuela. Move to Venezuela. Because the regime that he left there is still, it's still the same shit. They're not just as bad as dictators, but they are dictators. And then idiot Democrats that said that why was Venezuela not partying after Maduro was sent to the United States? Because they were told they would get murdered if they were partying. Okay, because the videos are on Instagram in Spanish. But if you don't know Spanish, how the hell would you understand? Right? Makes a lot of sense, right? They were saying no, we're not allowed to party. The lady that he left in charge, the vice president of Nicolas Maduro, which is now the president, she's just as bad as him. And she said whoever partied for Maduro being taken to prison would be executed. Ain't that nice, right? But you see, idiot Democrats don't do their research. They don't know Spanish, but they're getting paid anyway. They're paid actors, like you heard on that recording. I'm getting paid. And then people see that in the news. Oh yeah, man, look, we're all together, man. These people really care about Hispanics. Right. Right. They can care three scrappy doodles about, Venezuelans. You know what I'm saying? They don't know their struggles. That's crazy. People say, please, guys, look up the meaning of dictatorship before you call Donald Trump a dictator. Do me that favor. That's all you have to do. Look up the word. Look up the word. Look up the word dictator before you call our president a dictator. Kim Jong Un is a dictator. You could only get a haircut a certain way. Women could only get a haircut a certain way. You could only watch TV until a certain time. You could only be on the internet until a certain time. You could only dress a certain way. That is dictatorship. Dictatorship is not sending immigrants back to their country. That's not dictatorship. That's doing what the four founding fathers put on the basically the scripture of the United States of America, whether you like it or not. So yeah, because why weren't they saying that Joe Biden was a dictator? Why weren't they saying that? I'm trying to figure that out. Because I feel like I need to wake up the Democrats that watch me. Because I know you watch me because you love my content, but you got to wake up, broskies. Seriously, that's why I left the Democratic Party. I wasn't the only one. Joseph left the Democratic Party too, and Joseph was a hardcore Democrat. Because look at what they do. Why would you want to be part of a team that celebrated Charlie's death? When Charlie got shot, man, people lost their jobs, but they were parading. The Democrats were parading when Charlie died. Just because he didn't stand for what they stood for. Lies. Come on, man. You gotta wake up and smell the coffee, man. You can't. Another thing you can't be doing, man. Stop taking your kids to the the pride parade. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You guys are confusing your kids and shit. Stop doing that. Stop doing that shit. Like my gay friends are so disgusted by the pride parade, they don't even go anymore. I'm like, yo, bro, you're not over there? Nah, man. They got their kids, straight people got their kids over there breaking it down at 5 and 6 and 7 years old. What is to be gay? I know why I'm not part of that shit no more, guys. I'm not even I swear to God, he even took on his social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, he had love LGBTQ plus community. Boom, deleted. Completely erased from his social medias. Completely erased. He said he don't like what's going on. Trying to push gaydom down people's throats, putting it on TV shows, putting it on movies, putting it on cartoons. Oh yeah, man, we gotta gay this shit up. No, man, shit ain't cool. The Democrats are going buck wild because that's all Democrats. Republicans are not the ones shoving homosexuality down your throat. That's Democrats. You feel me? Because don't think there's not Republican homosexuals. That they are. And they don't agree with the hell with the shit that's going on right now. So it's just crazy. All you see on Twitter, it's not like before. You would see funny fights, car chases and stuff. You see dudes talking about, oh man, they misgendered me at Red Lobster. What? I go by they, them, who, what, when, cares. What? And that's why I couldn't be a Democrat no more, guys. So you guys gotta stop being Democrats. You can't stand for all this foolishness of these dummies saying they want to be called they, do, who, what, where. I identify as an iPhone, right? I own five of them. They're all right here. I got my 15 Pro, 17 Pro, 16 Pro, 14 Pro, and 14 Pro. So I identify as an iPhone. Don't call me Alex no more. Call me iPhone. You see how stupid it sounds? I just want you to see, I just want you to hear how dumb it sounds me saying that. I identify as an iPhone. And that's why, like I told you guys, my homosexual friends don't stand for this shit. They don't. They really don't. Really don't. These guys just want to put on a dress and say they're transgender. No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. You got to do the whole Caitlyn Jenner situation where you get the whole transformation. then you could be called a female. Other than that, and even doing that, you're still biological, man. But hey, you went through the surgery, you went through the mental anguish and pain, so you could be called a female. But other than that, you can't be called a female because you're wearing a dress. And then get mad and be talking junk on Twitter and talking junk on Instagram and talking junk on TikTok. I'm surprised these idiots haven't climbed on here on YouTube and said, "Yo, we're being misgendered." And then one of them was crying recently on Twitter, and I just put laughing emojis. Serious, I put laughing emojis because he was like, "Oh man, I don't know why straight guys don't want me because you're a dude. That would make me gay. How the hell are you gonna say why a straight guy doesn't want to date me? You're a guy. You are a man. You're not even a Caitlyn Jenner. You're a man with everything manly. You got a flat chest like me and everything." Not even gay dudes want to date these guys that are trying to dress like women. It's been all over TikTok, all over Twitter, all over Instagram. They were like, the guy was gay, right? He's Puerto Rican. He's from New York. Cool as hell. Which I'm gonna start sharing videos on here. Not on this channel, but on my other channel, the Alex Real Talk TV channel. He was like, "Look, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm from the Bronx. And I don't like you gay mother effers that sit here and try to dress like a woman. Because if I wanted to be with a broad, I would be with a broad and I wouldn't be gay, right? I would be straight. So why would I be want to be with a dude that wants to be feminine when I'm the one who's trying to be feminine and I want to be with a guy that's masculine but gay? You see what I'm talking about? So even gay people are coming against gay people or fake gay people because when you just want to dress like a woman and you don't have nothing done, you're a cross dresser. That's exactly what you are, a cross dresser. So it's just funny to me that you're disrespecting the people that are transgender, that do get these operations, that go see a psychiatrist like my best friend did. Well, three of my best friends became transgender. They was like, yeah, man, I was talking to the psychiatrist for like 3 to 4 years, and he was on the phone with me before I got the operation done. And I feel free, Alex. I feel free. And I'm like, hey, bro, whatever, whatever makes you happy. Oh, my bad. I can't call you bro no more, sister. Whatever you do, sister, whatever. Hey, I respect it to the fullest. I still love you, man. I still love you. That up. That up. We text each other on New Year's, and she said, I love you. And I said, I love you too. That up. That doesn't change anything to me. Seriously. So that's why people get upset with me on Twitter, but it's true. If you don't get the transition my friends got done, you're not a transgender. You're a cross dresser. Okay. So a lot of the homosexual community are mad at you cross dressers. And I hope, hey, if you're gay, speak out against it. Seriously. Speak out against it. Stuff like that shouldn't be applauded. Disrespecting real transgenders like Caitlyn Jenner and everybody else that I know that got that operation done. They're being very disrespectful. And that is a fact. I said I wasn't going to talk about politics. Well, this ain't really politics, though. This is speaking facts. Has nothing to do with politics. It's factual stuff. So this is I'm explaining to you guys the reasons why I became a Republican. And these are most of the reasons why I'm a Republican and why I voted for Donald Trump. Seriously. These are most of the reasons why. Because the Democratic side has gone crazy. Dudes want to be called they, them, who just by putting on a dress. Females want to say that they're dudes, that they're men that can have kids when they're women. They have a uterus. And to me, let me be completely honest. To me, it's very disrespectful. Me personally, as a man, it's very disrespectful that you think that by you growing a beard and by you calling yourself John or Chris or Joseph or whatever the hell name you want to call yourself, you are a man. You're not a man. You will never be a man. You will always be a woman. Now, where the transgender men have a leg up on you, they could get an operation and become a woman. Can you get an operation and become a man? No, you can't. So you're screwed. Just stay being a woman. Whether you want to call yourself Chris, I'm still going to call you a man. Whether you want to call yourself John, I'm still going to call you a ma'am, and that's never going to change. End the story. For me, bro, I don't vote for either side because it's a same of yeah. I mean, a lot of people feel that way, bro. A lot of people are independent like you. A lot of people are independent. They don't want to side with either side. They say, I'll stay neutral. I'll stay out of this shit. I'll stay out of this shit show. But me personally, I had to choose a side because I got kids, I got grandkids. Well, I got a grandson now, and I feel like he should be protected by these laws that these crazy radical Democrats were trying to pushing homosexuality onto kids my grandson's age that he's about to be 3 in preschool and all that, trying to teach preschoolers about homosexuality. That's just beyond me. That's crazy. That's where you as a Democrat you should draw the line. Like this is crazy. I'm out here. And I'm serious. You don't know how many Democrats on Twitter have changed sides just like I did. It has been millions. Like the Democrat side has been hurting hard, especially when Charlie died. When Charlie died, and Democrats were, making parties here on YouTube and every platform that exists, and other people were disgusted by it. They was like, I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm voting Republican next time. I'm not even voting Democratic. I don't care who gets that mad at me and my family. I don't care. I'm voting Republican. They call the club. Yeah, facts. Two ways of some bad. Yeah, bird. Yep. So, it is what it is. There's a lot of things that I don't stand for, guys. So that's why I'm Republican. And this is the last time that I'm going to talk about this because, like I said, I don't want to hurt my channel's growth. And I'm really sorry if I offended some of you guys, but it's true. You guys got to wake up and smell the coffee. The Democratic side, until they stop, pushing homosexuality down our kids' throats and our grandkids' throats and our throats. You got to stop supporting that. You really do. You got to stop supporting that side. They're trying to make homosexuality the new norm, like if it's like being straight, and it's not. I don't. I do my best to stay in the middle, but I try to some. Yeah. Well, I couldn't stay in the middle no more, bro. When my daughter, like I said a couple of years back, that I was about to beat the crap out of the principal, for not emailing me or his mom, my daughter's mom, Juju's mom, to tell us that the school was teaching some homosexuality classes. I was upset, and I put it on Facebook where I got over 1,000 and something followers on my personal Facebook, and people were irate. Are you serious, Alex? Yeah, man. They're teaching them. They're serious. Call and find out. And little did these parents know, we're moving all of our kids. So that school hated me. So after the backlash that they got from my post on Facebook, they decided to expel my daughter, and I moved her to another school. I was like, I don't care. You guys deserve the backlash. Get the hell out of here. But see, the thing is that most people don't know this, right? Most of us don't know this. But when your kid is in school, they're basically the school's the one that has that temporary custody of your kid. I didn't know this myself until I researched it and looked into it. So basically, by law, it's still your kid. So they got to call you or text you or shoot your email. And even the gay well, there's more than just Puerto Ricans, but the Gay Society of New York decided to speak against this, teaching stuff in kids, and you could look it up on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube. That's where I found the video. And he's a gay guy. He's Puerto Rican, and he's into politics. And he said the teachers needs to stop bringing rainbow flags into the rooms and stop trying to enforce gay into kids. You know what I'm saying? If they want to learn about it when they're 14, 15, their brain is more developed, then that's fine. But, doing it at such an early age is not good for brain development because it could get them confused. And that is a fact. They should not have classes to begin with. Their kids, one's too small to know what's the difference. Yeah, I understand. They don't understand, TJ, but they don't care. In the state of New Jersey, remember, I live in a Democratic state. That's what you guys got to remember. Look it up. New Jersey is a Democratic state. And because of all this nonsense, even the Democrats voted Republican. Because Miss Kamala Harris wanted to push homosexuality down everybody's throats. Oh, let drag queens go teach at this school. Let this other drag queen go teach at this school. No, get out of here. It's crazy, man. It's just that's why I had to vote for Donald Trump. Donald Trump was like, bump all that, none of these pronouns. You are who you are, and that's it. Ain't nobody calling you no he, she, they, when, what, why, who. I identify as a dog, a cat, a cow, a giraffe. Like, get out of here, man. With all this dumb shit. So you know what I'm saying? So and it is what it is, guys. But like I said, I still love all you guys. I just need you to, wake up and smell the coffee. The Democratic side is not the side to be on right now. They're going crazy. They are going crazy. And that's a fact. They're going crazy about everything. They really are. Don't try to fix kids to have a different ideology than bring gay or bisexual or anything of that sort. Yeah, you're right about that, TJ. Right about that. But like I said, guys, I know these are touchy subjects because they are. We had more people watching the live stream, and now we got less people watching the live stream because these are touchy subjects. But no, what's right is right. Just like I speak against companies when they do the wrong thing, I'm gonna speak against Democrats that do the wrong thing. If you have your kid, you should not be applauding none of this BS. This ain't good for your kid to be, confused at a young age. Why is Billy wearing a dress right now, John? I don't know, because I sent him to school and he had a cross dressing drag queen in his classroom teaching him about homosexuality. And she asked him, how does he feel? And now she confused the hell out of my son. Oh, hell no. We got to go beat the dress off that dude. And that's exactly how it would go. I think Trump was our closer. I just feel like there was not any other choice. No, there wasn't any other choice. Because if it would have never been Kamala Harris running for president, it would have been another Democrat that wasn't so far into homosexuality, then I could agree with that. Seriously. If it wasn't somebody like Kamala Harris that was pushing homosexuality down everybody's throats, then I could agree with, having a Democratic Party. Because we never seen, Obama was the first president to enforce the law for gay people to get married, but he didn't say, "Yo, let's push homosexuality down everybody's throats," like Kamala Harris did in the last 4 years she was the vice president. No. So it is what it is. Kids, yeah, bro, I'm telling you, because when my daughter came home and she told me, Dad, am I supposed to like girls? And I'm like, why are you saying that? Oh, because I had a class today that told me about if I felt like I like girls. And that's when I flipped. That's when I flipped. That's when I crashed out. I crashed out. I went to the school and I crashed out on everybody. We're going to call the police. My cousin here next to me is a police officer. He showed them the badge. Well, get your cousin and calm him down. And no, you guys had no right to do this. I don't need to calm him down. If he wants to crash out on you guys, he's allowed to. How are you going to allow somebody to ask his daughter, not your daughter, his daughter, if she is sure about her sexuality at freaking 6 years, 7 years old? That's what I'm talking about. So if Kamala would have won, this would have been a shit show. Oh, real shit show. What we would have been forced to say they them. They could have sued us for hate speech if we would call them ma'am. I mean, call them sir or anything else. Because Kamala would have enforced that. She really would have enforced for us to call them they, them, who, hey, giraffe. Okay, you identify as a cat. Probably have Miss Kitty on the license. She identifies as a cat, so she has to put Miss Kitty on her license. He identifies as a dog, so he's gonna put Mr. Dog on his license. He identifies as a lion, so he's gonna put Mr. Lion on his license. And all that, this would have been a shit show. And we couldn't allow that. Because that's what Kamala Harris was trying to do, turn this shit into a shit show. You know what I'm saying? Am I saddened by people's insurance, going up and people losing Obamacare and all this other stuff? Yeah, man. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. But to me, sorry to say this, to me it was worse. Kamala pushing homosexuality down kids' throats and forcing us to say they, them, who, what, where, Giraffe Boy, Catwoman, Batman, and Incredible Hulk. Because if she would have been the president, I could have put on my ID Incredible Hulk. I identify as the Incredible Hulk, and it would have been legal. And I'm not even joking. She would have tried to get that shit through the Supreme Court, and that shit probably would have got done. I just don't like how they stay here pushing. That's the thing, guys. We gotta fight back. We gotta fight back. I'm serious. If you live in California, because they're pushing that shit in California super hard. If you live in the state of California and your kid comes back telling you, I got a drag queen teaching me in my class, you get them the hell out of that damn school. I don't give a shit what the governor here thinks. The governor doesn't run my kid, and this piece of shit government here in the state of California, Smellifornia, like my boy says, he lives out there. He calls it Smellifornia. Are gonna tell me what to do with my son or my daughter, or who gets to teach them. I want a regular teacher. If it's a male, it's a male. If it's a female, it's a female. I don't need a female that thinks she's a male, and I don't need a male that thinks he's a female. I need a straight heterosexual person teaching my kids. That's what point, Alex. I just identify as a. Oh, cool shit, bro. You're funny, TJ. That's funny as hell. We gotta watch it though. We don't want to offend them. Well, I don't really care because now they don't got no backing from the government, so they can't say, "Oh man, he has hate speech in his blood." No, it's facts. It's not hate speech. Whatever you decide to do in your personal realm is your personal business. I don't care for it. I'm not the one doing it. I'm just saying, don't try to shove that shit down my kids' throats or down my grandkids' throats. I might not look like I got a grandkid, but I do. So yeah, no. Keep that shit to yourself. You feel me? Because imagine it's gotten so bad that you got gay people coming against that shit. These people need to stop pushing homosexuality on kids. Like that famous, I guess he considers himself a transgender. I forget his name. He has a makeup line and all that. He spoke against it too. I forgot to save the video on Twitter. He talked about how he doesn't like that homosexuality is being pushed on kids' cartoons and movies and TV shows and all that. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. That is a fact. So people, please wake. If you think that you should be called they, them, who, horse, cat, mouse, you need to go see a psychiatrist. Seriously. Let me know where you live at, and I'll get you. I'll make sure Gemini points you to the right seek of help because there's no reason why you should be happy with your gender. That is just beyond me. That's crazy. That is crazy. It's like I said on the last live stream that I talked about this. If I would have been gay I still would have been the same guy. Still would have been talking like I am. I wasn't gonna try to be a female. I wasn't gonna try to portray something I'm not. I still would have been a dude, a masculine dude. Still would have been a dude. I wouldn't be saying, "Oh, yo, you need to call me, ma'am, who, he, ha, who." You got to use these pronouns, like my gay friends say. That's what I tell you. My gay friends don't get offended, and they're watching this live stream right now because they just text me. They're laughing in the background. You feel me? Because they agree with me wholeheartedly, 100%. What I say, you know, my friends that are the female in the relationship and they're gay, they don't dress like a female. They still dress like a dude. They're just a female in the relationship. That's all. Well, they don't want to be a woman. They know they're a dude. You feel me? But these other ones nowadays, they want to be called he, she, man, ma'am, who. Like the matter of fact, the one from Saturday Night Live, she said, I identify as they. Does and she's Democrat. This is what I try to understand. Do you know that the they definition means more than one? They are sitting there. They are over there. They are over here. More than one. So how can you consider yourself? You want somebody to use a pronoun and call you they when you're one person? They have made a mockery of a homosexuality, and that's what I have a problem with. They have made a mockery of, and I'm talking about these dummies, these stunt dummies, like the one that works at Saturday Night Live, and she's Caucasian and she's a heavy set woman, and she wants to be called they. I don't know how the other gay Oriental guy that works there. I don't know. I don't want to call him Chinese because I don't know if she's Chinese or Korean or whatever. I'm just gonna call him Oriental, and I don't know how he doesn't feel offended that she wants to be. She's claiming to be part of the homosexual community, but she wants to be called they, more than one they. So I'm gonna be called who? What you identify as who? That's why I make fun of it, guys, because you guys gotta understand how stupid that sounds for somebody to be called they. I identify as they. More than one. Jesus Christ. Jesus. And I know, since the people in charge of Saturday Night Live, they're devil worshippers, they allow all this stuff. They like doing anything that annoys God. Anything that's against God, they want to do it. And another thing that I want to say, you can't listen to these other dummies in here that claim to be godlike and they want to say they're perfect and they want to read the Bible and interpret the Bible their own way. Don't listen to them idiots. I was arguing with them yesterday. I'm surprised they didn't block me off their live stream. Talking about some, you can't use paganism. Calling God God is paganism. Calling Jesus is paganism. You got to call him Yahweh. Yahweh is a Jewish word. We could still call him Yahweh, but that is Jewish. You reading the Bible, you idiot, doesn't make you Jewish. Okay, you got to be born Jewish. You can't just become Jewish by reading the Bible. So these idiots are just as bad as the ones that want to be called they, them, who, what, where. They're saying that by you reading the Bible, whether you're black, Puerto Rican, white, Dominican, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Lebanese, you're all of a suddenly, you're all of a suddenly, what did I just say? You're all of a suddenly, oh my God, man, you're from Israel. You're Jewish. You're Israeli. All of a sudden because you read the Bible. So please, guys, don't listen to them idiots either. They're just as bad as these people. Because there's a couple that are on here, they're idiots, and they're like, yeah, man, don't say God bless you. That's paganism. The idiot doesn't even know what paganism is. Paganism is when you're praying to statues and stuff like that. That's paganism. God doesn't like that. When you're worshiping statues, when you're worshiping his statue, him when he was crucified, and paganism is when you are over here praying to the Holy Mary. Holy Mary, Holy Mary was not uh nobody. She was just somebody that carried God in her stomach. That's it. She's not to be worshipped. And another thing I want to know, like, why Catholics say Hail Mary, full of grace. Why do you mention Mary and hell in the same sentence? Like that just dawned on me now. And I used to be a hardcore Catholic, and that just dawned on me. Why do they say Hail Mary, full of grace? What does hell have to do with heaven? Seriously, let it blow your mind. Because in Spanish, it's not like that. It's not, in Spanish, it's Santa Maria, Madre de Dios, libre de nuestro pecado. That's different. Santa Maria, Holy Mary, Mother of God. That's what we say in Spanish. We don't say Hail Mary, full of grace. We don't say that. So I need to understand why in English it's not the same way as Spanish. And in Spanish, you don't say how would you even translate that to Spanish? Hail Mary. I forgot how do you say hell in Spanish. Infierno. Infierno madre. Like what the hell? That even sounds crazy in Spanish. Infierno madre. Hail Mary. Infierno madre. That just sounds crazy in Spanish. So people need to stop making mockery of religion too, man. I don't know. I guess the Pope needs to do something about that. About taking Hail Mary out of freaking, unless they're devil worshippers. That would make sense. If they were devil worshippers and they were down with Mr. Lucifer, then of course they're gonna say Hail Mary, full of grace, because you're saying Mary's in hell with Lucifer. So you guys got to be aware of your surroundings, man. All these big talk show hosts, they're all Illuminati. Illuminati is real. The devil worshiping is real. The sacrificing is real. It's not all fake. You're living in a real reality where people sacrifice dogs, cats, cows, family members to become famous and sign their name in blood. So listen to these rappers when they tell you shit. They're not lying. They're being dead serious. They're not. These are not conspiracy theories. These are real facts. You got to sign your name in blood with Sony, with whoever, Warner Brothers, whoever, and a star of David Permit, and you're signing your name in blood and giving your soul to Mr. Lucifer the day you die. So you really need to start doing research, man. Because even listen, there has been so many atheists that were that are that are well, they were atheists, but they are what you call that, man? Oh my god, the thing that atheists believe in. They believe in research. So what are they called, man? Them people that research everything. Astrologists, whatever you call them. And there have been some of them people that have discovered Jesus Christ's blood in the tomb where um Jesus' body laid before he rose from the dead. And they found the blood and the rag full of blood from Jesus Christ. So it's just crazy. Like, and this was a Caucasian man. He's actually white. You can see the interview here. Look it up on YouTube. That's all you gotta do. Look it up on YouTube. He talks about how he was an atheist and he wanted to see if God was really real. He went to where God was classified. He went in that place where they put him because it was like a mountain, and they would open the big rock and move it to the side, and that's where people would lay when they died back like 2,000, 3,000 years ago, before we were in thought of. You know what I'm saying, from our parents, and and he found the blood of Christ. He found the blood of Christ. So that person said, I'm no longer an atheist. I did the testing. This is human blood. It's been preserved for all these years, and I believe this to be Jesus. Jesus is Lord. Jesus is God. This is God's blood. And in the Bible, if you read it correctly, not like the idiots that I told you, it says in the Bible the days that before God comes, all this stuff is going to happen. People are going to kill each other. Basically Democrats and Republicans are going to be bickering and arguing, and one is seeing it this way, another one is seeing it this way. It talks about all this in the Bible, and only God would know what's going to happen in the future because He predicted this 2,000 years ago. Okay, so only God would know this stuff. So for people that think that the Bible is a joke, I feel sorry for you. You don't got to worry about me. You got to worry about God when He comes back and you see Him in person, and He tells you, you know why you're going to hell with Lucifer? You're going to be cast up down to hell because you didn't listen to nothing. You thought I did not exist. You thought you just took breath because you wanted to. Oh, scientist. Sorry, he's a scientist. That's the correct word. Scientist. So he's a scientist that was an atheist and became a believer because he found God's blood. And a lot of scientists are atheists. I mean, look at the black scientist that says that God can't exist, that we were created by meteors. That's the dumbest crap I ever heard. We were created by meteors. So meteors are made out of strong rock, right? So if we were created by meteors, why are we not bulletproof? Why did we die? Why did we get sick? It's just common sense, man. It is really common sense. Especially people that have died and come back to life. You get a second chance at life. Like my friend that got shot 17 times and he's still here. He was an atheist. After getting shot 17 times and surviving, he believes in God. Only Jesus is the truth and the life. Yes, he is, bro. Jesus is the beginning and the end. He is the Alpha and the Omega. Okay. We don't need to try to understand God. We need to try to make a relationship with God. Too many people are, wondering why God does this, why God lets this happen, why God is letting ICE take all these people. Because we're not puppets. We have a choice. You can either believe in God or you can choose not to believe in God. It's that simple. That's simple. I prayed to God that my brother would beat cancer, and he beat cancer. Now, when my uncle died from cancer, it was too late. That was spread all over his body. My brother's cancer was mainly right here in his jaw and on his nose. So they operated his nose, took all the cancer out, thanks God, and then they did the chemo right here in his jaw, and the cancer left. You know what I'm saying? So all that from smoking cigarettes, got jaw cancer and nose cancer. So guys, man, you really have to, you know, um, think about your future, man. Think about yourself. I understand, and sometimes you think that nobody's there for you. You feel low, you're depressed. You know who wants you to be low and depressed? Mr. Lucifer. He wants you to feel down. He wants you to think that God doesn't love you and that you're worthless, and that's why God is not there. That's all lies. If you look for God, you'll find him. You know what I'm saying? If you read the Bible, you'll feel something. You'll feel something touching you, and that's the Holy Spirit. When you grab the Bible or you go to church and you feel that sensation that you want to cry, that's the Holy Spirit touching you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get closer to God. That's why I try to be respectful with things that I say, you know, and it's not an easy journey. It's really not. Being faithful to God is one of the hardest. Well, it's not that hard, but we make it hard because cursing is a sin. Having relationships without being married is a sin. Lusting for another woman or looking at her at any type of way is a sin. So there's a lot of things that are against God's will that we have to fight with. And Lucifer is always gonna tempt you, put temptations in front of your face. Noah's Ark is real. That was the first time that the world got destroyed. Okay. And what did God make as a symbol, letting us know, us humans, that He was not going to destroy the world again? He made the rainbow. Because a lot of dummies that are homosexuals say that how was Noah gonna put lions and tigers and elephants and crocodiles and all these with humans in a boat and then not kill each other or try to eat the humans because God created everything, you idiot. So if God created everything and he tells them get on a boat and don't fight, who are they going to listen to? The creator, right? That makes a whole lot of sense. That's just like my dog, Grizzly. When I tell him something, he listens, right? Because who raised him? I did. God created him as my personal companion, and even Shadow right here laying next to me. They listen. So imagine God telling them something. They will stop and halt right away. The highest being in this world. Okay? And that's what you need to understand. It's not that hard to understand. So, the rainbow flag used for homosexual to me is disrespectful. It was something that God created, showing that he would never destroy the world with water. This time it's not going to be destroyed with water, though. This time it's going to be destroyed. You know how we watch the movies of the world ending and we see meteors coming down to Earth? That's exactly how, that's actually a prediction. That's exactly how the world's going to be destroyed. It's going to be with meteors. They're going to come, scorch, and you're going to see, boom, boom, and people running all over the place. And that's exactly how God is going to destroy this world when he comes with fire. Not with water, with fire. A lot of scientists say that New York is sinking below seawater because of all the heavy buildings and all that. New York hasn't sunk because of God. Okay, California hasn't sunk because of God. All these states that have these heavy, huge buildings that weigh like 5, 6 tons, thousands of pounds, putting pressure onto that floor, and it doesn't buckle and crush the subway train that's going underneath them buildings, is because of the will of God. Okay, when people fall, there was this guy in 2016 when I was living in Ohio. He fell from a 47 floor in New York because he was cleaning the window and only broke one rib from a 47th floor because he's a window cleaner and he broke one rib. And people say God don't exist. I tend not to let anger get the best of me because that's what the devil wants. But when I see people in person spewing hateful thing towards Jesus, it really makes me want to go put him to sleep with one hit. But I know that's what Mr. Lucifer wants, so I just keep it moving and let the person say whatever they want to say about God and all this stuff. They don't know that they breathe every day because God. They don't know they take a step every day because of God. You know what I'm saying? It's God's will that you're still here, and that's a fact. So, I'm trying to get closer to God. That's why in all my videos you see, take care, God bless, and be safe. You know what I'm saying? I'm being serious. I'm trying to get closer to God. And it's hard. It's not easy with all these people just spewing hateful stuff. And I just snap. And God already knows I'm gonna snap. He knows what you're gonna do before you do it, and that's a fact. That's why he's God. He already knew I was gonna do this live stream. He already knew I was gonna talk about everything that I'm talking about. He knew I was gonna talk about him at the end of the live stream. But guys, my mom, this is my mom's room. Like I told you guys, I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff in my room. That's why I can't do live streams in my room. But I want to let her get to sleep. My mom is 83 years old, so she's tired. She wants to go to sleep. So, guys, I want to say take care. God bless and be safe. If I have offended anybody, I'm truly sorry from the bottom of my heart. Being serious, I'm not joking. And my conversations when I have them with you guys, it's not to offend you guys, just to open your mind to new things and to actually think about things in a way that you can comprehend them and understand. I just try to stand myself with yeah, positive people. That's what I do, bro. That's what I do. I've been chilling with positive people, not negative people. Negative energy is not good. Really not good. Because if you're already in a negative state of mind and you're chilling with negative people, you're gonna do negative things. Now, if you're around positive people and you're in negative mind, you're gonna go to leans towards possibility, positivity. And that talks about in the Bible, it talks about that too. That when you think too much about something and you talk too much about something, you bring it into fruition. So you need to stay away with that. Stay away from that. You know what I'm saying? Chill with positive people, talk to positive people. Um, Try not to do no drugs at all. You know what I'm saying? I smoked weed because I was in depression. And when I went to church, I can honestly say that I was at peace and my depression left and I stopped smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people smoke weed because of depression, because of personal stress, whatever they're going in their personal life. But that's only a remedy. You get what I'm saying? It is only a remedy. Because after the 2 hours that I was high for, 3 hours that I was high for, the stress came right back. And then I had to spark up another blunt, get high for another 3 hours, and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta try to deal with situations the best way you can, and try not to stress over things you have no control over. Seriously, try not to stress over things you don't have control over. Because right now I got somebody at my job that wants me fired because they hate my guts. It's crazy, but that's Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? That's the devil. So I'm not gonna feed into that. You know, not gonna talk to that person. Do I forgive that person for trying to get me fired? Yes. For lying on me? Yes. But I don't want no type of communication. God says you have to forgive somebody in order for him to forgive you, but he doesn't say you have to talk to that person. So she done burnt all her bridges with me. I don't want nothing to do with her. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep moving forward, guys. Keep your head up because trust me, when people are jealous of you and the hours you get and you're making more money than them, they're always going to try to throw shade towards your way so you can lose your job. But she basically was screwed because I don't work for McDonald's. If I worked for McDonald's, I would have been fired that day. But since I work for a company that has a contract with McDonald's, basically my boss would have to be the one fired, the owner of the company. And I called him and I told him the situation, and I told him, you know how they do, they like to lie, because I'm cool with the owner. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. My brother has known the owner of McDonald's, the owners, the husband and wife for years. And I've known them for years since I was little, and the people are like, "Oh, you think you the shit because you know the owners." No, I don't think I'm the shit. Because she tried to lie and say that I was going to get her fired, that I was going to talk to the owners when them words never came out of my mouth. She was the one saying, "Oh, you think you're all that because you know the owners and you have a friendship with the owner." That doesn't mean nothing. I'm not the one who could fire you. It's the owner the one that could fire you. Because I was giving her advice. She don't want to listen to the managers, to the other two managers that work at McDonald's that I'm cool with, the female and the male. She wants to do whatever she wants to do. So I was just giving her advice, and she got all dramatic and started crying and tried to get me fired. So for now on, I'm just gonna mind my business. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna mind my business. Just gonna go to McDonald's, go to work, come home, don't go back. And from now on, I'm just gonna stay home. That way, I stay drama free. Whatever happens over there happens over there. The shit don't got nothing to do with me, and I ultimately don't risk my job because I need that job. Seriously, I do need it. So trust me, guys, I go through a lot of stress. A lot of stress. That's why I told you guys I do these live streams to relieve stress because it could be really stressful when you got spiteful ass women that don't like you and want to get you fired by lying and twisting your words. So that's why I'm just done. Just done. Just gonna mind my business and do what I gotta do. And that way, if the person gets fired, they get fired. The managers go up to the owner and say, "Yo, you gotta let her go. She's not listening." Da 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 da. Da. Alex is telling the truth, and that's why I ultimately didn't get in trouble, and my boss didn't get called because the managers knew that what I was telling her was true. That she has to listen to the other two managers, not just the morning shift manager, the nighttime managers too. So even though that's not part of my job, I thought me and that person were cool, the cleaning lady, the maintenance lady. And she turned around and started crying and say that I was going to get her fired. And no, 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 I can't get you fired. You're going to fire yourself. Because the funny thing is that while all these people come and go, I'm still at McDonald's. I'm still there. You don't know how many maintenance ladies I have seen, how many maintenance dudes I have seen, how many different managers I have seen, how many different employees for McDonald's I have seen over the years. Go, 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 and I'm still there. You get what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. Yeah, I think to help a friend of mine, and he ended up telling that my boss I was ready had to ready my friendship this year. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch what kind of friendships you make at work because these people are jealous. Like she's like, damn, you always working here. Even on Saturdays when they need you, you're working here. Like she's jealous of what I'm getting paid, and how much money I'm making. That's none of her business. So, um, that's what triggered her into lying and twisting my words. And of course, most people believed her because she was all dramatic. She was crying. Oh, he called me dumb and stupid. Words that never came out of my mouth, guys. But like I said, that's Lucifer. So she lost a friend here. When she wanted something to eat, and she's like, Alex, can you buy me this to eat? Please. I'm gonna hide it and eat it over here. So they got cameras there. They would see when I would buy her something to eat. Now she lost all that. Now I don't care if she's hungry. Oh no, 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 no. Remember, we're not supposed to be talking. The morning manager said that I don't want no beef for her. I work here in the morning. I don't want no beef for her. She said not to talk to you. You're not to talk to me. Leave me alone. I don't have nothing to say to you. Nothing whatsoever to say to you. So goodbye. Thank you. That's exactly what I was saying to her. Step off. My boss wants me to get a camera. Because I should have started recording, guys. I swear that was my fault. I should have turned on the recorder on one of my iPhones because I think I take the 16 Pro, 17 Pro, and 14 Pro, and 15 Pro to work. And I should have just started recording on one of them. So they could have heard her, and right now they would have felt the morning manager would have felt dumb. I would have been playing the recording. Boom! This is what she said to me, and this is what I said. Oh, so she did lie. She's the one who brought up the owner. Yep, I never brought up the owner, did I? I was giving her advice that she needs to listen to this person and this person. Yeah, see? Yeah, right. No worry. I'm gonna get her. Thank you for recording this. And that's from now on, I'm gonna record shit. Somebody tries to lie and get me mad or bring me out of character, pulling out my phone, set recorded, boom, record the whole combo. First, I'm gonna send it to my boss. Boom. Then I'm gonna let whoever wants to hear it hear it. Because if I would have recorded her, she wouldn't be working there right now. She would be fired. I guarantee that shit for talking junk and calling me saying that I think that I'm special and da 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 da. You feel me? And another thing is that female likes me. Even though she knows I'm in a relationship, she likes me, and she's not my type. Not because I'm in a relationship in general. She's not my type, and I blatantly told her that. I'm like, look, I don't do this to my girl, and you're not my type. So even if I was single, I still wouldn't mess with you. You're not my type, and that's true. Because she got all mad because her husband doesn't buy her anything. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, "Oh, you should. My birthday's coming up, February. You should buy me a perfume." Like, hell no. I gotta think about my daughter that's about to be 21, her birthday, and getting my girl something for Valentine's. You're not my girl, and you wouldn't be my girl either. It's just like the mentality is just not there. You know what I'm saying? She's 23 years old, and my Juju, that's gonna be 14 in February. I mean in April this year. Juju acts more mature than she does because her mentality level, she's like in I don't know, her mentality level is like at 8 years old, and she's 23. So God forgive me, she might be autistic. Seriously, she might have something wrong with her because to be 23, about to be 24 this year, and to have the mentality of an 8 year old, there's something seriously wrong. There's something seriously wrong. So, like I said, she got mad because I told her that she wasn't my type. Even if I would have been single, I wouldn't be messing with her. And that's why she decided to try to get me fired. Try to go back in McDonald's crying and waiting till I left to make a big show and say that I cursed her out when I didn't. But don't worry, they're gonna be scared because this Wednesday when I get paid, I'm gonna order the camera, and I'm gonna be like, nah, you can't tell me not to wear this cam. Mm-mm. Anything pop off, I'm gonna turn on my camera, my security camera. I'm gonna put it right on my vest. Boom. Watch their whole mood change. None of them are gonna be talking slick to me. What you said? Is that necessary, mother? Yeah, yeah, yep. It's necessary. Don't worry, and you're gonna lose your job. I don't give a f about this job, like she was saying. There's plenty of jobs. I'm like, why are you talking about your job? Ain't nobody talking about your job. I'm telling you to listen to the managers, respect the managers. I don't give a fuck about this job. I can find a job anywhere else. I would have had my camera on. Boom, there you go. Now, do you want a disgruntled employee like this that says they can get a job anywhere else? Oh, that's what I thought. And that's it. Cover my ass. Because by law, I can have the camera. I'm a licensed security officer, so I can have the camera on my vest, and nobody can say nothing to me, and that's a fact. But yeah, guys, like I've been saying for the last almost damn, I've been on this live stream for almost 3 hours. Take care, God bless, and be safe. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Appreciate you. You guys accept me the way I am, and like I said, if I offended anybody in this live stream, I am sorry for real. Not even joking. Not joking. Um, If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell notification, and I'm definitely gonna catch you guys on the next one. Take care, God bless, and be safe. I'll do another live stream tomorrow when I get off of work. Well, I gotta see if I work tomorrow. I'm about to text my boss. I'm like, yo, bro, do I work tomorrow? Because I don't want to walk over there for nothing. Because it's like they don't tell me crap. They wait till I get there and be like, no, there was no school today. So anyway, I'll just come back and go to sleep. That's what I'm gonna do. They tell me, yo, there was no school today because of the cold and blah, blah, blah. All right, I'm going back home. A9. But yeah, guys, take care. God bless and be safe. You already. And thank you for watching. Catch you guys on the next one. Deuces.